Hi, my dear students. Welcome you all to the class. Today we are going to discussing one main and important topic for all the associates, including me as well as including you people. See, today we are going to discussing the main topic under business taxation, that is TDS. That is tax deducted at source. What is tax deducted at source? Before directly getting to the topic, let me introduce why I introduce this TDS concept. See, I am an associate. I am earning some kind of income. On this income, I am not going to pay the tax within the same year. What I am going to do in the sense, on that income, I am going to pay the tax in the next coming year. That is called as what? Previous year and assessment year. Previous year and assessment year. Previous year is nothing but your at present previous year is 18-19 and assessment year is 2019-20. What is previous year? Previous year, it is the year in which the associate has incurred some kind of income from all the sources. That is from the all dates of income. I am incurring some kind of income. This called as what? Previous year. What is assessment year? Assessment year is nothing but on this income I am not going to pay the tax in the same year. I am going to pay the tax in the next coming year. That is called as what? Assessment year. In this year I am incurred some kind of income. In this year I am going to pay the tax to the government. This is called as what? Previous year and assessment year. Well, good. Next, go for year. I am the government. I am getting income majorly only through by the taxes here. Here the government is getting the taxes on basis of on June or at before September. Only once in a while, once in a year they are going to getting the income from the SSC peoples. But I am a government, I want to run the economy well, so that I need some kind of regular income in nature. If I am not getting any kind of regular income, I can't able to meet those kind of expenditures. So, for that reason, the government has introduced three concepts. Which are those three concepts? One is TDS, one is TCS, that is tax collected at source, one more is advance tax. Why they introduce those three concepts? It means in the same year, like example, in which year I had income year 2018-19, in the same year I am going to pay some kind of tax, not the entire tax, some part of the tax I am going to pay in the same year, so that the government is getting some kind of regular income to the government, so that they can meet all the working capital. Like it's like a working capital for the government, right? They're getting regular income. Like instead of getting to 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 at a time, they're going to get regularly like 2,000, 3,000 and all. By using this amount, they're going to meet their day-to-day expenditures. Right, so they are going to introduce this TDS, TCS and advance tax. They introduce three. One is TDS, that is tax deducted at source. One is TCS, that is tax collected at source. One more is advance tax. In this video, we are going to do this brief discussion about the TDS concept here, right? Go for here. TDS is nothing but the tax deducted at source. The name itself suggests that the tax we are going to deducting at the time of what? Collection of sources. Like example, there is an two. One is employer, one more is employee. The employee is getting regular income from the employer through by what? Through by some kind of, that is salary. Employee is providing some kind of services to the employee. For that reason, the employer is going to pay some kind of regular income to the employee, that is called as what? Salary. It is the salary usually paying on the per month basis. Let's take example here. Think in a view of employee. Employee is getting regular income is how much? That is 50,000 per month here. But here it is called as what? Gross salary. Gross salary in the sense without deducting anything like ESI, PF, then professional tax and all they are going to deduct here. Before deducting all those expenses, all those deductions, the income is how much? The salary is how much here? 50,000 per month. But employer, what they are going to do in the sense, like example, 50,000 into 12, almost we are getting like 2,50,000 or 3 lakh something. If we have to pay some kind of based on the slab rate here, the employer has to pay tax to the government on the basis of slab rate because he is an individual. So instead of paying at a time to the government taxes, the employer is going to deduct some kind of amount from that 50,000. Example, out of those 50,000, the employer is deducting 2,000 every month as what? As TDS. Then later they are going to pay only 48,000 to the employee. They are not going to pay 50,000 because out of those 50,000, the employer is deduct how much of amount? 2,000 as TDS. Remaining they are going to pay only 48,000 to the employee. Next one, after deducting the 2,000, the TDS from the employee, this TDS amount they are going to deposit in the government account. Every month they are going to deposit those employee amount as TDS to the government account. In return, the government is going to issue some kind of certificate. It is called as what? TDS certificate. It's saying that you are the employer, you pay tax 2,000 on employee. Like example, this is XYZ Limited. He is Mr. A. XYZ Limited has paid TDS of Mr. A rupees 2,000. They are going to issue some kind of certificate to that employer. It is called as what? TDS certificate. Again, this certificate has transferred to later to the employee. This TDS certificate, when come to for the salary persons, they have to issue, that is under 206. Form number we have to issue 206. When come to others, apart from salary, if you are getting any kind of deducted source, we need to go for 206A. It is for salary employees. It is for others. Like others in the sense, like example, I am receiving some kind of lottery, income from lottery, income from crossword puzzle, income from horse race, any kind of insurance commission, deposit from the banks. If they are receiving those kind of income, on that time they are going to deducting some kind of tax. Remaining amount they are going to pay for me. That is called as net amount. They are not going to pay any kind of gross amount. They will pay only net amount. In that time, they are going to issue certificate that is 206A. This is how they are going to deducting tax deducted at source. See in a way of employee, this is my source here. So what is my source here? 50,000. Out of this 50,000, they deducted how much of amount? 2,000. From my source, they deducted 2,000. Remaining amount they are going to pay to the employee. That is tax deducted at source. On my source, they deducted some kind of tax. It is tax deducted at source. Here we need to follow a few sections here. Nearly we have to follow nearly 30 sections. Let me discuss one by one. First one, that is section 192. Section 192 deals with your TDS on salary. TDS on salary, as we discussed in previous situation. In that situation, they are going to deduct some kind of tax on that salary on the basis of your slab rate. Basis of slab rate, they are going to deduct some kind of taxes. So what is this here? The slab rate. See, as of your financial year 1920, we need to go for up to rupees 2,50,000. And one more, this slab rate is going to change year by year. Up to rupees 2,50,000, you should not pay any kind of tax to the government. That is nil. Next one, from 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, we have to pay 5%. Next one, from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, you people have to pay, that is the 20%. If it is more than 10 lakh, the assessee has to pay 30%. This one it is for less than age of 60 years. If your age falls between 0 to 60, you people have to pay this bracket. Next one, if age falls between 60 to 80 years, then up to rupees 3 lakh is nil. Instead of 2 lakh 50, that is 3 lakh. Next one, 3 lakh to 5 lakh is 5%. Remaining things same. That is 5 lakh to 10 is 20%. About 10 lakh, that is 30%. This is what between 60 to 80 years. If it is more than 80 years, that is called super senior citizens. If it is more than 80 years, up to rupees 5 lakh is nil. 5 lakh is nil. Next, 5 lakh to 10 lakh is 20%. More than 10 lakh, that is 30%. Plus, you have to pay surcharge and cess. Surcharge only at the time of applicable at the time of if your income exceeds 1 crore. If it is less than 1 crore in the sense, no need to pay any kind of surcharge. Then next instance they have to pay 4%. This is first one, that is TDS on salary. And here you people have to maintain two. One is my income. If my income is only from salary, then second one I need to follow salary plus other income. I am going to calculate both only in the stage of if I am getting only the salary. My source of income is only salary in the sense on those income I am going to calculate tax rate. Same way, salary plus other income. If I am getting any kind of salary plus other income, on this situation also on the basis of slab rate I am going to identify the tax. In this situation example, here my tax comes under 2 lakh. In this situation, my tax comes under like 2 lakh 50,000 in the sense the employer is going to deduct the TDS on the basis of 2 lakh 50,000, not on the 2 lakh. 2 lakh 50,000 divided by 12. On that amount, they are going to deduct every month as TDS. But those information the employee has to provide to the employer. This is your first situation. If the employee is getting only, the source is only salary in the sense, only for the first method. If you are getting along with salary, if you are getting any kind of other like income from business or any capital gain or any other source, if you are getting any kind of other income, this information has to provide the employee to the employer. So employer has to calculate two situations here. If you are getting only salary, what is the income? So what is the tax? If you are getting any kind of salary plus other income, what is the tax liability? We are going to calculate both. On those situations which is the highest income, tax liability that we are going to pay to the government as what? TDS. This first one, that is TDS on salary, that is section 192. Next one, section 192A, that is TDS on amount withdrawn from EPF. I am the employee. I am working in the organization for more than 2 years, more than 3 years in the sense they are going to pay some kind of amount. As already we discussed in previously, that is gross amount is different and net amount is different. Out of those gross amount, they are going to deduct some kind of part of amount as deduction as ESI, PM, then any kind of professional tax, any kind of TDS. In that deduction, they are going to deduct even your EPF, that is Employee Provident Fund. Here, if the employee has provided the employee provided service more than 5 years in the sense they are not going to deduct any kind of amount on EPF amount. If the employee has to provide less than 5 years only, they have to pay some kind of TDS to the government. If not, they are not going to deduct any kind of TDS. Then second point, if the employee has health, if he is suffering from any kind of health disease in the sense, in that situation, if he left the organization means within 5 years, then also they are not going to deduct any kind of TDS. So, what is the limit here? The limit is 50,000. TDS rate is 10%. First one 192 on salary, next one 92A, how much to withdraw from EPF, next one 193, that is TDS on interest on securities. TDS on interest on securities. See, when it comes to company, they are going to issue one is shares as well as some kind of debentures. On the debentures, I have to pay interest. Right? It is a compulsory obligation. When come to shareholders, I have to pay a dividend. When come to here, I have to pay some kind of interest on the securities. If you pay any kind of interest on securities, the limit is 10,000. If it is exceeding 10,000, I have to pay 10%. That is interest on securities. Almost it is applicable for debentures. That is interest on debentures. But those kind of debentures has to be listed. Has to be listed in the stock exchange or not listed, then it has to be recognized. It should be recognized. Then any kind of securities issued by LIC or GIC, there is no any kind of TDS on securities. It is applicable for almost all kind of companies except LIC or GIC. That is Life Insurance and General Insurance Corporation. If they issue any kind of securities on that interest, they are not going to deduct any kind of TDS. Important news. Next one 194, that is TDS on dividend. If it is on securities in the sense, I have to pay interest. If it is on shares, I have to pay a dividend. When come to dividend, the limit is 2,500. The rate is 10%. Next one 194. Sorry. 194A. That is TDS on interest, but other than interest on securities. TDS on interest other than securities. If it is on securities, if there is any kind of interest, it comes under section 193. Apart from securities, where and all you are getting interest? Where and all you people are getting interest? One is on interest on the deposit. In the bank, I deposited some kind of amount. On that deposited amount, I am receiving some kind of interest. Then interest on cooperative societies, interest on post office, or interest from LIC. On those interest, it comes under 194A. The limit is 10,000, same 10%. This is almost on the bank deposit. Then any kind of cooperative societies. Then any post office. In this, they will receive some kind of interest. On the situation, I need to go for 10,000. The limit is 10,000. If it's more than 10,000, I have to pay 10%. This is 194A. So simple. If it is any kind of interest, 10,000, 10%. Right? Next one, 194B. That is TDS on winning from lottery, card game, then puzzle, etc. That is almost with regard to our income from other sources. Apart from horse race, if you are getting any kind of income from almost JCT or other sources, that is lottery, card game, puzzles, etc. It comes under your 194B. Example: I participated in a competition. In that competition, I got some kind of lump sum amount, like example 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, something. It is called as what? It's like a gift for me. On that income, they are going to deduct some kind of taxes. Almost you can see in TV channels, they are going to say that if you win this trophy, we are going to give like 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, something. But usually, people are not getting this full amount. What they are going to do in the sense, example, the prize amount is 50 lakh. Out of those 50 lakh, they are going to deduct, that is 30%, that is 5 3 that is 15 lakh. They are going to deduct 15 lakh rupees, and they are going to pay only 35 lakh for you people. They are not going to pay entire rupees. Next one, part. Out of those 50 lakh, they are going to pay some amount through by gift in cash, and some amount through by kind. Like example, 25 lakh through by gift in cash, 25 lakh through by kind. How they are going to deduct tax now? Whether they are going to deduct tax on this amount or whether they are going to deduct tax on this amount. When come to here, go for here. Out of those 50 lakh, so what is 30 percentage? 30 percentage is 5 3 so 15. That is 15 lakh. What they are going to do in the sense on that cash. So what is the cash price here? 25 lakh. In this 25 lakh, they are going to deduct 15 lakh and they are going to pay only 10 lakh. 10 lakh through by cash and the kind through by 25 lakh. Suppose if I pay full amount, full 50 lakh only through by kind in the sense, that is how much? Entire 50 lakh if they paid only through by kind, in that situation, what is going to do in the sense? So what is the 30 percentage here? 30 percentage is 15 lakh. They are going to ask the directive, first you pay this 15 lakh, then you can carry for, then you can discharge this 50 lakh rupees amount. First you pay 15 lakh as TDS for us. Then we are going to discharge this 50 lakh rupees of kind to you people. This one we need to calculate, that is 194B. So what is the limit here? The limit is 10,000. If it is more than 10,000, I have to pay 30 percentage TDS. Next one, 194BB, that is TDS on horses. TDS on horse race. When come to TDS on horse race, we have to pay on horse races, that is the limit is 10,000. If it is more than 10,000, I have to pay 30 percentage like earlier. Any kind of lottery, card game, puzzle, 10,000, 30 percentage. That is 194B. Apart from those things, only one income from others, so that is horse race. Here we have to compute under section 194B. But here you should not consider any kind of a camel race. They are going to do some kind of camel race, right? So those kind of camel race, it isn't applicable of any kind of TDS, right? Next one, 194C, C for contract, that is TDS on payment to contractor. TDS on payment to contractor. For a contractor, you people are going to pay any kind of amount in the sense on that amount they are going to get some kind of TDS. Oh, so what is the limit here? See, when come to contract, it includes even subcontract as well. Contract as well as subcontract. Like example, I am the contractor. For me, there is some kind of subcontract for me people. So it includes both contract as well as subcontract. So what kind of work they are going to applicable? It is applicable for all kind of like advertising, any kind of broadcasting, then any kind of land, that is labor contractor. For almost all post things, they are going to applicable your contractor. When come to here, for individual contract, the limit is 30,000. For aggregate, for individual contract, the limit is 30,000. For aggregate, the limit is 1 lakh. Right? Next one. For individual license, for the individual person or HUF, the rate is 1%. For others, it is 2%. Be careful. They are going to give sometimes that is payment to contractor of individual. Go for this one. That is 30,000, 1%. It is going to pay to the companies. It is going to pay to the companies in the sense applicable of aggregate 1 lakh, that is 2%. That is 194C. Next one, 194D, that is TDS on insurance commission. What is this TDS on insurance commission? To the commission agents, agent papers from the insurance company, they have to pay some kind of commission to them. So in this situation, it comes under 194D. The limit is 15,000. If it is more than 15,000, I have to pay 5%. But for the domestic company, usually we have to pay 10%. But almost domestic company they want to go. Usually, if it's for domestic company, we need to go for 10%. If not, go for 15%. Next one, 194DA, that is TDS on. Payment of insurance policy. TDS on payment of insurance policy in the sense, for the insurance, like example, after the expiry of 5 years or 10 years, we are going to receive some kind of entire policy amount. On that policy amount, they are going to deduct some kind of amount as TDS. The limit is 1 lakh. If it is more than 1 lakh, they are going to deduct 1% as TDS. That is comes under your 194DA. Next one, 194E. 194E, that is with regard to our TDS on deals TDS and payment to the foreign players and any kind of non-resident sports organization. For this, best example is your IPL. So, when come to IPL, almost all the foreign players enter into India. They are going to play here for nearly 2 months. After that, they are going to receive some kind of lump sum amount from India. Right? Again, after they went back to their home countries, again on that income, they are not going to pay any kind of taxes to the government. Right? So, on that situation, what they are going to do in the sense, they are going to deduct 20% as TDS plus surcharge plus cess. For the foreign citizens, for the foreign peoples, compulsory they are going to collect as well as surcharge as well as cess. But when come to Indian resident, they are going to deduct only rates here, like example 1%, 5%, 30%. Plus, at the time of end, at the time of lump sum amount payment to the government or June or September, at that time they are going to collect surcharge and cess here. What is the foreign players? See, any kind of foreign players enter into India, they are going to pay any kind of games in India except card game. They are not going to consider any kind of card game as game over here for the foreign players. Then, if they are going to give any kind of editorial report, if they are going to give any kind of editorial report in the newspaper also, they are going to get something in return, right? Even the others comes under 194E. In that situation, they have to pay 20% plus cess. There is no any kind of limit here. Even if they incurred, if they are getting income from even 1 rupee also, they are going to get 20%, right? Next, 194 EE, that is TDS on NSS. Sorry. Yes. That is National Saving Certificate or National Saving Scheme. See, TDS on NSS comes under almost this kind of certificate. It issued only by the post office. If issuing any kind of through the post office, what they are going to do in the sense, if it is more than 2,500, if they withdraw, if it is withdrawn 2,500 per annum, they are going to pay, that is 10%. What about for the foreign peoples? If it is foreign peoples, 10% plus search plus cess. If it is only Indian citizen, only pay the rate, that is 10% rate. That is comes under your 194E. 194E, that is smile. You have to welcome our foreign players. Smile E. Then TDS and NSS comes under your double. Next one, 194F, that is TDS on repurchase unit of UTI or mutual fund. You will going to purchase any kind of shares, or you are going to invest any kind of amount on the mutual fund. On that income, on that source, if you are receiving any kind of income, it comes from 194F. So what is the rate? That is say, that is 2,500 If it's more than 2500, they are going to deduct, that is 10%. Next one, this comes 194F. Next one, after F, it comes under G, that is TDS on commission on lottery tickets. TDS on commission on lottery tickets. See here, that is 194A. TDS on, sorry, not 194A, 194B. TDS on commission from lottery, card game, puzzle, etc. is comes in 10,000, 30%, right? From the lottery, is received any kind of income, go for 10,000, 30%, that is 194B. Next one, in this situation, there is one middleman. They are going to play role here. That is commission agent people. They are going to collect some kind of lottery tickets from the owner. On that lottery tickets, they are going to say to the common person. For that reason, they are going to earn some kind of as income. It is called as what? Commission. Commission on lottery tickets. It is applicable for the agent. Means the middlemen, those who are playing over here. In that situation, if you see any kind of commission lottery tickets, need to go for limit is 15,000. If it is more than 15,000, I have to pay 5%. This comes under your 194G. Next one, 194F. Sorry, H. That is TDS on commission other than insurance commission. TDS on commission other than insurance commission. And come to commission, that is TDS on insurance commission, the limit is how much? 15,000, 5%. If there is any kind of commission only from the insurance is part of 194D. Apart from commission from the insurance, they are going to receive some kind of commission from other sources. Like example, that is consignor consigning. I think we discussed this one in AFA chapter, that is consignment. When come to consignor consignee, the consignor has to pay some kind of regular commission to the consignee, that is daily credit commission, ordinary commission, those kind of commissions part, it comes under your 194H. That is simple. Apart from insurance, if there is any kind of other commissions, it comes on 194H. Even the limit remains same, that is 15,000, 5%. After 194H, next one, go for 194I. When come to 194I, deals with your TDS on rent. Rent includes your lease, sublease, those kind of things comes under TDS on rent. See, rent is applicable almost all for companies. And come to company, I am running with some kind of machinery, but those kind of machinery I took for rent purpose. In that situation, it is applicable of 194I. If I took any kind of machinery, that is plant and machinery, then I have to pay 2% as TDS. If I took any kind of rent for land and building and any furniture, they are going to deduct, that is 10%. The limit is how much? The limit is 1,80,000. If I am going to pay per year, the rent is more than 1,80,000. For plant and machinery 2%, for land building and furniture that is 10%, right? Next one, that is comes under your 194I. See, almost is applicable for companies. Next one, 194I A, that is TDS on transfer of TDS on transfer of immovable property except agriculture land. You should not consider any kind of agriculture land. Transfer is nothing but sale. If you are going to sell any kind of immovable property deals with what? Only two, that is, one is land and building. If you are going to sell any kind of land or any kind of building, then it comes under your 194IA. In that situation, you should not consider any kind of agriculture land in rural area. In that situation, the limit is so much 50 lakh. If it is more than 50 lakh, I have to pay 1% as TDS. Next one, 194 IB, that is TDS on rent for individual. See, 194I, this is TDS on rent. It is for company. It is for company. When company individual, I am the SSC. Assume that I am the SSC. I am going to live in a rented house. In that situation, I need to go for 194 IB. For a year, the limit is 50,000 per month, not per annum, per month. But to claim over this one, we have to provide some kind of bill to that tenant. So what is the limit here? The limit is 50,000 per month. Next one, 194J, that is TDS on professional services. TDS on professional services, that is with regard to a doctor, any kind of auditor, any kind of lawyer. Then for that reason, we are providing some kind of, we have to pay some kind of amount as fees, right? On that income, they are going to deduct some kind of TDS. The limit is 30,000. If it is more than 30,000, they are going to deduct, that is 10%. Then, but for here, for call center people, that is they are going to deduct only 2%, limit is 30,000. See here. This is important. For the call center, we have to pay only 2%. For apart from call center, any kind of auditor, those kind of things, we go for 30,000. The limit is 10%. Last one, that is 194 LA. See, last one, that is with regard to our 194 LA deals with your, that is acquisition of or composition for immovable property. Acquisition or any kind of composition for immovable property, then we need to go for 194 LA. See, when come to 194 IA, that is TDS and transfer of immovable property. For my own interest, I am going to sell my building to the other party. It's like a sale. But when come to 194 LA, that is sometimes the government is going to acquire the land. Like example, for the construction of road, in that situation, they are going to occupy some kind of properties for compulsory acquisition. Then it comes under your 194 LA. The limit is 2,50,000. If it is more than 2,50,000, rate is 10%. Right? Then even still we have some kind of 194A, 194 LB, 194 ABA, 194C, something on that. But those kind of things it is applicable for non-resident papers. So I stopped it only till here, that is 194 LA. And I missed one thing here. See here, TDS and rent for individual, the limit is how much here? 50,000 per month. If it is more than 50,000, they have to pay how much? That is 5%. This is all about your TDS. And one more, when come to TDS, for almost all the things, they have to provide, that is a PAN card number. If not, they are going to pay, that is 20%. If they not provide any kind of PAN card number, they have to provide 20% instead of 5%, 10%, they have to pay 20%. If it is more than 20%, they have to pay only 30%. This is all about your TDS. When come to next video, we are going to discuss some kind of shortcuts. How to remember sections, then how to remember the limit, then rate. We are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you.